As usual, beginning of our Dharma class, we cultivate great motivation for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. And we can be Buddha in the future if we practice bodhicitta. Bodhicitta can be cultivated if we rely on the excellent Guru, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The Guru and Buddha refer to all the Buddhas in 10 directions. The Dharma here referred to the actual the wisdom which relies in emptiness, union with the bodhicitta. Sangha here referred to the being who realize emptiness through direct perceptions. At the same time, everybody must have a strong wishing, not just taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, have a strong aspiration to be Buddha, able to accomplish Dharma, able to be Sangha. With a great motivation, as we recite, taking refuge. I go for refuge and enlarging through the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I'm an occasions of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlarging through the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My manipulations of practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Please take refuge to the devotion until we become a Buddha, until all sentient beings free from suffering. At the same time, when we taking refuge to the devotion, we must take refuge to the devotion on behalf of all sentient beings. Next, generating bodhicitta. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, regarding the Buddha persons, I generate a beautiful reckoning for the benefit of all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mindful reckoning for the benefit of all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mindful reckoning for the benefit of all sentient beings. Please visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space. Imagine you and all sentient beings, we and all sentient beings, just below the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and cultivate bodhicitta in front of the Buddha. Simply you think, I wish I can be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings through my practice of 6 perfections, through my practice of forgiveness, through practice of sense of caring for others. And now the actual class based on the Rice Seedling Sutra. So we thought open your book. Can you recite the verses from okay, there's a question, right? Well, the phrase dependent arising means please chant that something arises because something else already exists. Make sure the first sentence. Second one, something is born because something else was already born. That is to say, ignorant cause formations. Three things. These three sentence is very important. Always you need to remember the first sentence, the first line, something arises because something else already exists. The second line, something is born because something else was already born. And the next one, that is to say, ignorance cause formation. The first line, something arises because something else already exists. This line. So according to Buddhism, Buddha teaching, Buddha himself, he or as a Buddhist, we cannot accept creator. Right? We cannot believe in creator, or namely, you can say, Bhagavan or the God. But make sure, as a Buddhist, we cannot accept the creator, we cannot believe in creator, but those group of people, those people who believe in God, those people who believe in creator, we must respect. We must respect them. We must respect their religions. Clear? Then why the first line, is very important? Because all Buddha, entire Buddha teachings, Sutrayana, Vajrayana, all the teachings Buddha taught based on dependent originations. Clear? Dependent originations. Therefore, first line, something arises. That means when you look around, you can see, the trees and flowers and grass is growing, is arising. When you look around, you can see all the construction, all the building, all the road, all the cars, right? Those are there because something else already exists, and all the causes and condition was there. Therefore, thing exists, thing arise. For example, when you go around, suddenly you can see, one of the big mango tree, right? And you see mango tree, immediately what you need to remember, yes, this mango tree, had been arising or arise because the cause of the mango tree already exists in the past. In the past. This is what we call the external, dependent arising. Second, for example, this morning, when you wake up, maybe some of you may feel, very pleasant feeling, you have a happy feeling, or some may you have a kind of little bit, sad feeling. Somebody has a very neutral feeling. Why different feeling we can have in the morning? When you feel happiness in the morning, what you have to say, the happiness, I am feeling right now, the cause of happiness was already exists. Clear? This is what's called the internal dependent arising. That means each of the phenomena, no matter the phenomena is a big or huge or small, very small, each of the phenomena has their own causes and condition. Therefore, anything's, human or non-human form, formless, consciousness, anything's, everything, everywhere is arise from where their own causes and conditions. This universe is also exist, arise, because the cause of the universe already exists in the past. Therefore, without causal condition, nothing can be happen. Clear? Right? Now you can say, oh, Buddhism is very scientific. Actually, Buddhism is more, deeper and more, finer than the scientists. When you really, after you think about dependent arising, then immediately you need to know my happiness. Right now, I feel very happy. The happiness also arises from causal condition. When you feel, kind of sadness, unhappiness, immediately what you need to realize, the sadness, the unhappiness also arises from causes and condition. We should not say generally arising from causes and condition, arise from their own causes and condition. Then you need to think, oh, yesterday or today, day before, I feel, very upset. I feel very upset. I wasn't happy, for many days, for many months. Then you have the responsibility, need to realize where the unhappiness or sorrow, sadness come from. We should not think, oh, the happiness come from, outside. It come from where? Within your mind. Within your mind. But there will be, other factor must be there, but mostly is from within your mind. Right? Therefore, first sentence is a deny or reject the notion of the idea of creator. If there's no creator, then your happiness, our happiness is depend on whom? Depend on us. Our sufferings is depend on us. Therefore, if we are very serious about, achieving happiness, then we have to put effort. If we don't want suffering, then we have to put, effort to overcome from suffering. You just have the hope, just doing, praying for happiness, praying for overcome from suffering, it doesn't work. Then the second one, okay, now we are very clear, right? Everything around us, the things arising around us, our body, everything is exists because their own causes and condition was there. That means cause produce a result, any kinds of result. All the result, all the effect arising from where? Arising from their own causes and condition. The second question, must be there because the cause, produce the result. The result is arising from their own causes. Then the result which is produced, the production, it is permanent or impermanent. Let's say, you put a seeds, then you grow a flower. Right? The flower is it permanent phenomena or impermanent phenomena? Let's say impermanent. What the reason behind it? Because the causes of the flower are impermanent. And therefore, look at something, the second name, something is born, like born or like you can say, because the born with Tibetan word is a he, like hewa. Let's say the result. Here we can say arising meaning something born means something, the result is impermanent because the causes of the result was impermanent. There's something born because something else was already born. That means the result, a good or bad result, any kinds of result is impermanent because the causes of the result are impermanent. For example, the mango tree is impermanent because because the seeds of the mango tree, the seeds of the mango tree is impermanent. Therefore, cause impermanent, the result must be impermanent. The result is impermanent, the cause must be impermanent. Permanent, actually there isn't kind of permanent cause. Therefore, permanent cause cannot produce impermanent result. Right? Impermanent, because a permanent result cannot be produced from the impermanent cause. Therefore, cause impermanent, therefore the result is impermanent. The result is impermanent because of the cause is impermanent. This sentence, negate, or you can say reject the notion of, permanent causes and condition. So this is the logic. For example, the cause is permanent, right? Permanent, there's cannot change it, it cannot be changeable. If the cause doesn't have any changes, then the cause cannot produce anything. Am I right? For example, You just study, you just buy the green beans from the market, you soak in water for, like 10, 20 minutes, you put outside. Next morning, you can see the sprout is coming out. That means when you touch with the other condition, the cause has a changes. When the cause is changed, then the result can be produced. Therefore, there isn't any kind of permanent cause. If there's a permanent cause, if the cause is permanent, the cause cannot produce anything. Because at the Buddha lifetime in India, ancient time, there was only one religion, like two religions actually, Hinduism and Jainism. Because Jainism. According to Hinduism, they believe in creator. Buddha said there's no creator. Everything arises from where they are their own causes and conditions. According to Hinduism, the God, or the Bhagavan who create this universe, everything, the God is permanent. Remember, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, right? Omnipotent, right? According to Christianity. Omniscient, then omnipresent, then omnipotent. That means the God is always there, omnipresent, omnipotent. The God has the power, can produce everything. That means omnipotent. And omniscient, the God can can see everything. It's the same idea according to Hinduism. The creator is a permanent, always there. The creator can see everything. Then Buddha said, no, 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 no. First, there's no such as creator. If there's a creator, then the creator can be permanent, and how the creator can produce effect. Therefore, what you need to think, everything, even though Buddha, liberation, everything must arise from causes and condition. All the causes and condition are impermanent. Clear? Then the last sentence, ignorance. I think you can on rather see this also on quite hot. That's the third sentence. What is the third sentence? Ignorance cause formations. So this sentence is very detailed explanation how things arise into different manifestation. Yes, right now we fully understood all the effort, effect arise from cause. The cause is impermanent, the effect also impermanent. Then this is the case, then one cause can produce everything, one cause can be produce everything, cannot. One cause cannot produce everything, cannot. Therefore, particular effect, particular result must produce from very particular causes and conditions. Again, the mango tree must produce from the mango seeds, cannot produce from the apple seeds. The apple must, produce or must arise from very particular seed, which is the apple seeds. The thing's very clear. First thing arises from causal condition. Each of the phenomena has a very, very particular causes and condition. Then, for example, ignorance produce formation, right? The formations, you can see, the karma, the action must arise from ignorance. There's been third one, we say, uh, condition of uh, power of condition. Then without looking books, the pages, can you remember the 12 links? Number one, ignorance. Number two, don't look at book, okay? Formation. Number three, consciousness. Number four, name and form. Number fifth, six sense. Then number six, contract. Number seven, no. Ignorance, formation, consciousness, name and form, then six sense, then context, then feeling. Contact after contact, feeling. Feeling after craving. After craving, no, after craving, coming. No. Appropriation. Yes, which is grasping similar meaning. Then next one, becoming. Then birth. Then aging and death. Right? So this, the line, all the sentence mainly explain the two truths. Suffering, then origin of suffering. Right? Truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering. Among the 12s, first we need to know based on our own life. We don't talk about what things going for others. First, before we born as a human, in the previous life, our previous life, we have ignorance. Then second, due to the ignorance, so, we had an action, positive actions or negative actions, right? Actions. Due to the action or karma, then we were born. We were born as a human being. We just entered into mother womb first time. That means consciousness, right? Ignorance, formation, then consciousness. So when we first time entered into mother womb, in only the subtle consciousness, we must say, we entered into mother womb with a subtle, very subtle, tiny consciousness or mind. Then four, what's the number four? Name and form. Then, after a few weeks, then you can see there's little changes in the mother womb, the egg, changing into different shape. But the first is just mainly name and form. They become bigger. After the eggs, develop little bit bigger, then next name and form, then six sense. That means, you can see that little baby has a, like a shape of organs, eyes, nose, and tongue. Then, based on the organs, the sixth sense produce. six sense form within the tiny body. Then after the six sense, you should not mix up, eyes and eyes sense. Air, then air sense. There's a sense, sensation. After sense, then what the next? Contact. Let's say, even the little baby in the mother womb, but the little baby can, listen the music, can hear the, like sound. So when the little baby, hear the very pleasant sound, the baby have a pleasant feeling. The baby has when the baby receive, unpleasant sound, then the baby has a, unpleasant feeling. Right? Like, so we talk, let's say we are in the mother womb. Then, so when the baby has a pleasant feeling, the baby has a craving. Right? Always listen the pleasant music, pleasant sound. When the baby receives, unpleasant sound and music, the baby has a unpleasant feeling. Then the baby get, angry and upset. The contact. Then contact means I sense contact to the form. Air consciousness, the air sense contact to the sound. Contact, meet together. Then the feeling, a craving. Then the cravings is become very strong and powerful. And what we name appropriations, grasping, craving, then really grasping, then becoming. Then what happened? Then birth. Birth means then, let's say, coming out from the mother womb. Then you can see, after first time will be, come out from mother womb, normally we can say, the child is born. Normally, the world is actually, when the child really entered into mother womb, the child also already take a rebirth. Then next minute, next moment after, come out mother womb, we say the child is born. Then next minute, the child actually start to, start aging. And you can say slowly become bigger and bigger, bigger. I mean, actually, it's every moment the child is getting aging, getting older and older. Then what happened last? Then death, death, death. Not only death, after that, same end, birth, cause, aging, and death. Here, here the aging and death, they count together in one number, right? The 12 one, aging and death. Means there's no really, order. Somebody just after, somebody can be died after born. There's no time to, getting age. That means aging and death, there's no order. Clear? No order. So when we remember aging and death, then we need to remember, the uncertainty of life. Uncertainty of life. We can be died anytime. Death. Not only that, due to the birth, then sorrow. Next one, lamentation, suffering, unhappiness, distress, and disturbance, turmoil. Does this entire great heap of the suffering arise? Right? Any kinds of suffering we think about actually is arising based on the birth. The next sentence, please read. When ignorance ceases, formation ceases. Then, when formation ceases, consciousness ceases. When consciousness ceases, name and form cease. When the name and form cease, the six sensation source cease. When the six sensation source cease, contact cease. When contact cease, sensation cease. When sensation cease, craving cease. When craving cease, vibration cease. When the vibration cease, becoming cease. When becoming cease, birth cease. When the birth cease, aging and death, sorrow, lamentation, suffering, unhappiness, distress, disturbance, turmoil cease. This does the entire great heap of suffering cease. This is what is the Bhagavan has called dependent arising. Right? So this, the few the lines actually explain how we are in samsara, how we are in the problems, how we can stop all the problem and suffering and sorrow. Right? So when you do meditation, first you need to reflect on the ignorance. Due to ignorance, then we engage into actions. So when we engage in action, then we accumulate a lot of karmas. Right? Now, how we can cease, how we can stop ignorance? When we realize, dependent arising or emptiness, selflessness, then we're going to stop or cease ignorance. That means when you cut, the root of the tree, there's, everything going to dry. And when you cut the tree, root of the tree, then the branches, the leaf, the flower, the fruit, everything going to be dry. Right? Likewise, when we stop ignorance, when we able to eliminate ignorance, then there's no more karma. Then, we can be arhat. We can be Buddha. Right? Therefore, so this means dependent arising. So how we can, eliminate ignorance? Then is second, comes the dharma. The dharma comes in second. What is the dharma? Please read. The dharma is the eightfold part of the noble one. Right view, right thoughts, right speech, right aim of the action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and the right concentration. This eightfold part of the noble one, combined with the attainment, is a result in the nirvana, is what Buddha has called. That means the first, that how ignorance produce karma, karma stop, then formation stop. This line, more detailed explanation about the first two truths, which is the truth of the suffering, the origin of the suffering. Therefore, the sorrow, aging, death, everything arises from the ignorance. That means you can see the truth, first two truths. Second, the truth. What is the second, third truth? Truth of the cessation, then truth of the path to, cessation of suffering. You have to say, be very clear, okay? What's the third truth? Truth of the cessation. The fourth one, the path to the cessation. The part to the cessation of suffering. And if you want to add, then you can say, the truth of the path to cessation of suffering and the cause of suffering. Therefore, dharma has the two meanings. One, the path refer to the dharma. Second, the cessation, the liberation, also dharma. Therefore, last sentence he said, the part of the noble one compound with the attainment. Which means attainment refer to the cessation. Attainment of the is dissolved, and nirvana is what Bhagavan has called dharma. Therefore, when we say, Buddha, mean the being, the human being or the deva, no matter, the being who totally free from suffering, who achieve all the good qualities, we name Buddha. When we say Dharma, many people think when we reflect Dharma, all the Buddha teachings, Dharma books, right? For example, this is Dharma book. The book is not the Dharma. Clear? The books, the Lamrim, any kind of teaching taught by Buddha, that this kind of text is not the Dharma. This is Dharma book. Then what is the Dharma? There's only two: the path and the cessation. The path to the cessations are the Dharma. Dharma. Therefore, the last sentence must remember, noble one, the compound with the attainment of his result, and the nirvana is what Buddha has called Dharma. Then who is the Bhagavan Buddha? A Buddha so-called, a Buddha so-called because of comprehending all Dharma, is endowed with the wisdom as of the noble one, the body of Dharma, and those precede the Dharma of those till the training, those beyond training. Okay, first we discuss about the Dharma. Right? First, we have to be very clear the 12 links. Right? What are the 12 links? I hope you're going to remember. Now we go through the process, the procedure of the 12 links in the actual, in our daily life. First, we start from the previous life. Our previous life, can be, maybe our previous life was an animal, maybe human being, we don't know. Whatever, due to our previous life, the previous life being, or let's say, our previous continuum, let's say was human being. The human being has a ignorance, right? Ignorance. Here it immediately go from ignorance to formation, like a karma formation. Actually, ignorance produces all the negative thoughts, right? Attachment, craving, grasping, anger, all the negative thoughts actually caused by whom? Caused by ignorance. So ignorance doesn't mean, mind, doesn't know, doesn't have, not so like a, many people think ignorance means knowing nothing is mistake. Okay. Ignorance means knowing nothing is totally wrong. Ignorance means, for example, what is the color of this book, white. I'm not going to debate is white or shape. It's white, that white. Let's say now, next everybody wear, green sunglass. Right? After you wearing the green sunglass, if you ask, what's the color of this book? What do you would say? Green. But you said you not going to say it's a green. You already know it's white. But appear as a green because you realize you wear, like sunglass. Right? So without realize you are wearing, like a green sunglass. When you enter into, the place totally, milky color, totally white. When you enter, what do you think? Wow, everything is very green. Green, right? Green means the mind, which is, perceive things as a green, the mind is, like a ignorance. The reality is white. The books, the color is actually white. But what do you believe? You believe this is a green. This means ignorance is, apprehending the opposite of the reality. Opposite of the total opposite of the reality. That this color is white, we believe is a green. The mind which is believe, perceive the color is green, the mind is like ignorance. Clear ignorance is an example. Second, everything arising, from everything arising on dependently, right? We understood, for example, tree arises from the sprout arising from the seeds arising from the previous, like a tree or plant. Is go, if you track, you test all the way, we cannot go. Right? It's a kind of beginningless. You can test your, ancestor, my father named this, and then my, grandparents named like this. You can go maybe 1,000, 2,000, your previous generation. Let's say you are very intelligent, you can go maybe millions. Then we cannot go because we don't have our mind doesn't have the power to go, forever. We're going to, stuck somewhere. Therefore, things arise, exist, depend on something, right? Something. Now let's say, what is this? This is a book. When we think, when you say this is a book, so which one is a book? Which one is book? Is upper part, the side, below, behind. Which is book? When you analyze, there's not say, such as a book. When you open, what is this? This is the cover of the book. This is the first page, second page. Even though when you say this is the cover of the book, right? Cover of the book. So which one is the cover of the book? This side is a corner of the cover of the book. This is another corner. This is the middle. Right? When you analyze each of the phenomena, when you go more closer, when you look very closely, then there's a look like there's nothing. Right? This look like there's nothing. It doesn't mean the book is not there. The book is there. The book is not there as we believe. The book is not there as perceived for us. So we have ignorance. the book is merely dependently exist. Okay, exists, but we don't understand. Therefore, ignorant is the mind is totally apprehend opposite of the reality, ignorance. Right? Now, generally, you should think if you have a totally totally misunderstanding of something, it's bringing you a lot of problems, right? A lot of problems. Let's say, somehow when you go out, somebody leave, like a very scary kind of toy in your house. The toy can be moved, the toy can produce sound. When you enter into your house, you feel so scared. What do you believe? There's a little ghost. It's moving around my house, like a screaming. You're scared. Right? Then somehow you don't have a choice. You have to stay in the room. Whole night, you cannot sleep. Whole night, you feel so scared. Right? Therefore, all the scary, cannot sleep well, all the problem you have all night is come from where? Ignorance. Ignorance about the Troy. Ignorance about the ghost. There's a ghost. Actually, this is a piece of choice. You think it's a ghost. You apprehend the total opposite of the choice. Right? Then somehow you thought, I cannot stay here like, with a sense of fear or, many days, then what are you going to do? You go closer or you destroy the toy, right? When you realize this is just, simple choice, so how do you feel? You feel so relieved, so relieved. There's no anger, no scary, everything has stopped. Likewise, somebody, live, very beautiful, like a toys. You can name the toy like man or woman, very beautiful, look like excellent as a human. You cannot differentiate. So when you enter in the room, suddenly you saw, very beautiful like a person. You feel upset or you feel happy? Happy. It's normal human being. You feel, wow, so happy. Somehow today in my room, there's one of the beautiful person, right? Then whole night, you have a lot of attachment, desire, right? Then somebody come to your house, the person touch the artificial person, you feel happy or angry? You feel angry. Don't touch. Because you already possess, this is mine. Right? Then look at now, again, you have an attachment, you have a desire, you got angry, then this brings a lot of problem. So after you study, about this person, finally you realize this also is so Troy. Then the attachment, desire, anger, everything stop. So therefore, in order to stop ignorance, the most important one, we need to realize the reality of, we say reality of the phenomena. Reality of the phenomenon. All the problem we have, first we don't understand the reality of the phenomena. Real phenomena. Second, we have a problem, even though we realize the reality, so difficult to accept. Right? Difficult to accept. For example, one of your dearest, one of your loving person died yesterday. You can understand the reality, the person is no more, the person is died. You realize the reality, right? The person is gone, died. The person, totally died. You realize, So can you accept it? So difficult to accept. Then you have another, lot of thoughts, lot of question in your mind. How come, the person has gone? Why other people, people still survive? Therefore, ignorance means the mind totally apprehend opposite of the reality. That means ignorance. Therefore, ignorance apprehend all phenomena exist independently. Ignorance, please repeat after me. Ignorance apprehend opposite of the reality. Wisdom, we say wisdom, right? Among the six perfection, the wisdom perfection, the wisdom apprehend the reality of the phenomena. Ignorance is opposite. The wisdom realizes the reality of the phenomena. Right? Therefore, when you are able to realize emptiness, means you have the wisdom. When you have a wisdom, you can, control ignorance, and gradually you can eliminate ignorance. But when ignorance ceases, then also, the formation ceases. But the formation here is referred to the positive actions and the negative actions. Positive and negative actions. Right? If there's no ignorance, then there's no attachment, no anger, you're not going to engage into any of the negative actions. Right? Negative action. So when you realize emptiness, you're going to engage into, like action, you can say engage into the merit, not just the action. Then the merit can be caused to achieve Buddhahood. Right? Formations are three types: positive formation, negative formation, and neutral one. Neutral one. Therefore, you can see ignorance can be ceased when we realize the reality. The reality referred to the emptiness. Emptiness means things look like they are independently. In the reality, in the truth is, nothing can be there independently. Nothing can be exist independently. Cannot. Can you think, such a thing or something there independently? Can you imagine? Can you imagine something there independently? For example, I'm seated on the, like a small, let's say, bed or small throne. I sit on because below me there's a throne. The throne has so many parts. And there's like a wood, there's a ground. Then you can see everything exists dependently. Dependently. Everything empty of independent existence. There's no such a big belief into independent. Everything is a dependent. Right? Our happiness also dependent on causes condition. Our suffering also dependent on causes and condition. Clear? When you really have the right understanding, and my happiness arising from causes condition, then as a Buddhist, you got the big kind of responsibility. Your happiness depends on whom? You. Your suffering depends on you. If you don't want suffering, what you have to do? You have to control the cause of suffering. You need to minimize the cause of suffering. One day you totally, able to eliminate the cause of suffering, then there's no more suffering. right? Then if you want happiness, what you have to do? You have to generate, you have to cultivate the cause of happiness. The more the more you cultivate cause of happiness, the more happiness you're going to achieve. Right? Then here we have a very serious kind of mistake we have. When you say, I want happiness, I want to have a kind of, happy life, then what we do, we always been busy with the recitation, chanting, prostration. This is, part of the practice. Those are, part of the practice. Those are not the real, dharma. Real dharma, that's only true. What are they? The path and the cessation. For example, growing mango tree. First, what we need a seeds. When we have a seeds, then we need a pot. We need a what you call the soil, water, light or sun. Then we need the secondary condition, not the primary. So, cultivating the path, like for example, generating bodhicitta, cultivating compassion, realizing impermanent, realizing emptiness. Those are like a seeds, okay, for growing a mango tree, like a seeds, most important one. Then the soil, water, pots, these are the secondary. Secondary. Secondary doesn't mean we don't need, we need. But for us, until now, include me, we spend a lot of times or many months or many years just collecting the soil, water, pots. We never try to collect the seeds. Seeds is all serious mistake. That no seeds still you wish to grow in a beautiful flower. Cannot, but we have been doing like that. You always, say, I wish to be Buddha, I wish to be, like a realizing empty, wish to be Buddha. Always have a strong, inspiration to be Buddha, but we never try to cultivate the path, that path. Therefore, how, ignorance produce the volition all the way to death, all the suffering. Then how stop ignorance, stop everything, stop. Is detailed explanation about the first two truths. Suffering of the truth of the suffering, then the origin of the suffering. Now we can divide the 12 links into, into two. One is a truth of suffering, one is the origin of suffering among the 12s. First, ignorance include into origin of suffering. Then, craving. Craving also include into origin of suffering. Then appropriation, right? Appropriation is include into origin of suffering. Becoming also include into origin of suffering. Okay? Ignorance, then craving, appropriation, becoming. The four is origin of suffering. Origin of suffering. Then rest of the eight, right? Like a formation, all the things included into, truth of suffering. That means among the 12, the four are origin of suffering, and the eight are the truth of suffering. Right. Now let's say, more detailed explanation, about the cause and suffering. I say ignorance is the cause, then craving, appropriation, becomings are the cause. Now let's say how the, this craving, you can say grasping, those are cause to produce suffering. Now, this is another important one. Let's say, we all together, whole life, we always, practice Dharma. We never ever have done any kinds of, non-Dharma. Right? We always do only good things. We have never done any small bad things whole life. That whole life. Then do you think in the next life we can be born into like we can have a good life? Next life. Do you think 100% sure? Yes, everybody believe. If I practice, like a dharma, let's say chanting, recitation, prostration, giving things for other, whole life you are doing all the positive actions. Never ever done any small negative actions. Then we believe next life I can have a good life. But it's mistake. There's no guarantee. How? You can say how and why not. Let's say, so we are, on process of the death, right? Process of the death. We are in the hospital, you're in the house, somewhere, we are on the process of death. Everybody know, the doctors or nursing, the relatives, or the guru, they 100% know, we cannot survive, we're going to die. Then, again, I said, while we are dying, moment of the death, we have a lot of confusion. A lot of confusions. Not only, confusion out of mind, we have a lot of sense of scare, sense of fear. Because we are on the, lying on the bed or we just somewhere, then within in our body, the four elements, is changing, decaying, the water and fire, and it's just a lot of changes in the body. Then we confuse. We feel so scared. Sometimes we feel, we are totally, pressed by a high mountain. We scared. Sometimes we feel we are totally kind of, jumping in the very deep edge. We scared. So, moment of the death, when you hear about kind of, like a little bit craving, grasping, right? Grasping. If we have a positive craving, positive grasping is good. Then next life we can have a good life. The moment of the death, when we have a kind of negative craving on the negativity, right? Or grasping on the negativity things, then next life surely we go into, we have a bad life. Therefore, you can say ignorance, the karma is there, karma has no matter positive or negative, is karma is there. Now it's very much depend on the craving, right? For example, moment of the death, you can see some of your, our friends or family or relatives when they're dying. Somebody always asking, can I have a kind of like a water? Can I have a drink water? They feel so thirsty, right? Then people asking water. But the person is staying in the air condition. Some person, oh, I feel so hot. I feel feeling so hot. Therefore, the person has a craving on the water, and craving on the hot and coldness. This craving becoming very strong. What we name aggression. You can say grasping. The craving and grasping, make the karma very powerful. If the craving and grasping, develop the negative karma, then what happened? We go into lower realms. The craving and grasping, develop the positive karma. The positive karma become more powerful, then we have a good life. Now you can see among the 12, graving has a very important roles. Therefore, moment of the death, surely, when we think about ourselves, it's not easy to control your ignorance, not easy to control your confusion. We can have any kinds of craving. We can have any kinds of grasping, right? Therefore, we try to have craving on the positivity, not the negativity. We try to have a grasping, a preparation on the positivity, not the negativity. Therefore, is a craving, a preparation, and becoming. What does mean becoming? Mean the karma is fully developed. If the positive karma fully developed, what happened? We go into lower realms. So negativity fully developed, we go to lower realms. The positive karma is fully developed, and where we go to higher realms. The positive karma develop or negative karma develop is depend on the craving and the preparations. Number one. Number two, let's say we have a positive karma, we have a negative karmas, we have a neutral karma. So moment of the death, which one come first? Because we have a positive karma, we have a negative karma, then which one, develop first? Which one? Huh? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know that. It depends on the craving and grasping. Then we have both karma and positive and negative karma. If the both karma, one of is more stronger, positive, then the stronger one come first. Right? Let's say what we have a positive karma, we have a negative karma as well. We have a both. Which one will come first? Which one is more powerful? Which one is more, like a stronger? Right? Clear? Then let's say both has the same power. None of is one weaker. It's the same one. The same power. Then which one come first? Which one will accumulate first? This will come first. Right? Now, when we think, based on the Buddha teaching, which one is come first, which is stronger, then now we can reflect our own life. In this lifetime, which one we have a more stronger, positive and negative karma? Which one is more stronger? Yes, based on our daily experience, daily action, the negative karma is more powerful than the positive karma. Right? How we know, negative karma is more powerful, more complete than the positive karma? Let's say in the morning you want to do, chanting, you're going to recite the Amitabha mantra or Manipeme for 10 minutes. Just only 10 minutes. First, so difficult to have the pure intention, pure motivation. Yes, you have a pure motivation. While we are chanting, while we are reciting, our mind is everywhere, not complete. Yes, you have a great motivation. Motivation is very complete. Your chanting recitation, you chant very completely without having any mistake. But at the end, we don't have the proper dedication. That no say our positive action is very complete, very incomplete, based on our own experience, very incomplete. Motivation is not motivation not there, action is there. Action is there, dedication is not there. There's a very, incomplete. Therefore, in our daily life, we think, we practicing Dharma, we think, we are accumulating a lot of positive karma. All the positive karma is very incomplete. Let's say negative karma will be very complete, very easily, right? Let's say you want to have a fighting with someone, your neighbors, you very pepper, right? I want to say this, I want to say that you have very kind of preparation. You prepare all the bad words. Also, you are very kind of energetic. Want to fight, want to argue. You very prepare, very energetic. So when you engage, when you're really fighting, you fight very, very powerful. At the end, what do you think? You feel, wow, so happy. You enjoy yourself. I prepared, I have a big fighting, good fight, then I win. Look at that. One negative karma is very completely, very powerful. So why we have this thing? When we practice dharma, very incomplete. When we do negativities, it's very complete. Why? Why? Huh? No. Yes, you can see ignorance there, but many lifetime. So we have the habit. The habit we have for many lifetime, not just 1 or 2 years, many years. So therefore, this lifetime, we say, remember, leisure and opportunity. The human life is leisure and opportunity. Very important. So right now we got the very important opportunity. If we miss this opportunity, I don't think we can have another opportunity to be a human, good human, have all the conditions. I don't think so, because the negative karma are so powerful. So therefore, this life is very opportunity, because if we do the proper dharma practice in this lifetime, you can be totally separate from the ignorance, right? We can be totally, able to free from the suffering, achieve liberation. We miss this chance, then think about your own experience, right? So difficult to have another opportunity. Right? When you have a problem, the boss is calling you, then you say, please give me one chance, right? Give me another chance. So we don't have another chance. We miss this chance. But then also, because when we realize, yes, this life is very important, also we have to survive. We have to survive. We need a food, we need a clothes, we need a house, we need the money to pay all the bills. We must have, we must need. We should not, ignore this thing. But at the same time, you try to survive well. At the same time, you need to practice, you try to understand, you try to practice dharma purely. Not just, spend your time with all the recitation, chanting, prayers, visiting all the temple, meeting all the, you can say the holy Lama or Rinpoche or the should not. You must go, should not spend a lot of time about these religious activities, right? Spend your time as much as you can for pure, practice the Dharma purely. Then there's a hope one day we can, achieve Buddhahood. For the next lessons, we study about, about the Dharma, then the 8 unfold Arya path, right? I want to call this Dharma. The 8th part of the novel one. Everybody must remember the 8 fold. Number 8, 1 to 8. Remember the 12s. Also remember, the sequence of the 8 path, 8-fold path. Okay, so why not? We have a few minutes. Do we have any Q&A? Any question? Yes, please.
She just now you say that to realize the emptiness or to realize the ignorance is opposite of the reality. So why is it so difficult to realize? Because now you say and we understand it, but why is it so difficult to realize?
Emptiness, right? Because actually Buddha said in the Mini Sutra, emptiness is very profound, very vast and very profound. If when you listen, when you think, when you hear the words, emptiness is very profound. Many people just immediately think, I don't think I can understand. Because Buddha said it's very profound. Buddha said it is so difficult to realize. Buddha said, yes, it is profound. It is very difficult to realize. It doesn't mean we cannot. Surely we can. So how is so looks very difficult, right? When we think, we feel it's so difficult to understand emptiness. Of course, understanding emptiness is for us very difficult. For example, let's say in our daily life, we have an attachment. That attachment for food, attachment for drink. We realize if I keep eating this food drink, I'm going to have put a lot of weight. Right? You really don't like to be very heavy. You don't like, or you don't want, or you cannot stop, eating all this junk food. How come? You know it's not good for you, but still you cannot stop eating this junk food, unhealthy food. You cannot stop. Why? You cannot stop having the pleasant feeling. You really very much like the pleasant feeling. For example, when you go to South India, or maybe in many parts of Thailand, the people really eat, very lot of chili, very, very hot. When they eat the hot chili, very strong chili, they have a sensation of mouth. They very much like craving the feeling. Therefore, they cannot stop eating this just junk food. First, we cannot stop. We very much like the pleasant feeling. Likewise, for us, since we were born, also in the many lifetime, in the previous billions of life, we always believe things are there as we believe. Things are there as the things appear to us. We have a very much kind of strong tendency of mind. Somebody say, no, things are not there as you believe. You say, no, I don't think so. And immediately we say, I don't think so. For example, someone totally, really fall in love on someone. Really love someone like that, particular person, very much like. When the person really likes someone very much, if somebody say, oh, the person whom you really like is very ugly, can you accept? Cannot. Because your mind got a very strong tendency to say, you believe the person is so beautiful. We have a tendency. We have a tendency for millions of years, things are exist independently. Suddenly, we try to understand nothing exists independently. First, we don't understand. Second, we try to understand, we use all the logics. When you use the logics, right, it makes sense, nothing exists independently. That when you open your eyes, you look at things, again you have a confusion. Like me, when I use the logics, nothing there as an independent. Right? I can really understand. When you really look at the phenomenon, then I don't think things are not exist independently. It's a dependent. No, things are there, very independent. Independent. We have a lot of confusion. We have a tendency. Due to the tendency, so difficult to realize emptiness. But it doesn't mean we cannot realize emptiness. Surely, We must think, okay, surely think I can realize emptiness. I can accomplish bodhicitta. I can be Buddha. You must say, surely I can. Right? When you say surely I can, then you put effort. If you say I cannot, you're not going to put any effort. You only say I cannot, right? For example, there's a heavy rock. Somebody say, can you try? You say, no, I can, I know that I can leave you, just go away. Right? When you say, why not I try? You try one time, second time, then slowly you become stronger. One day, you are able to lift the heavy rock. Therefore, in our life, generally, you should not think, I cannot. You must think, I can. I can practice Dharma. I can realize emptiness. I can be Buddha. I can. When you're sick, when you seriously ill, you should not think, I don't think I can be recovered. What do you think? I can. Any kinds of sickness you come in your life, you should think, I can. But few think we cannot. What? Aging and death. You say, I don't want aging. I don't I can be old, cannot old. Become, somehow we're going to get older and older. We cannot stop. Right? Okay. Yeah, therefore, what is the tendency? One is totally opposite what we believe. Therefore, first people don't try. Second, when they try, when you try, it makes sense. When you look at it, doesn't make sense. Right? This is the problem. Yeah. Any question? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Emptiness. We talk about selflessness, self. Does karma comes about?
Yeah. She has a question. In one hand, we talk about emptiness, selflessness. On the other hand, we talk about karma. Now, how these things happen? There's no selflessness, there's no self, right? So this is first emptiness, right? Emptiness, selflessness. These are the English words, English language. In the Sanskrit, what you call shunyata. Shunyata. Shu means like a 0 point. This is 0 point. And Tibetan we call tongpa, just not only empty. We say, empty, tongpa, nit, mean the nature is totally kind of empty. This one is the English problem. Second, selflessness. You are very right. If you don't process study about yourself and selflessness, you have always confusion. In a way, say, self or like a human or self or being. We talk about being. Right? Selflessness is not talking, there's no self. Let's say we're not saying there's no human. There's a self, but there's not, independent self, permanent self, singleness self. Right? Because it's come based on the Hindu tradition. Hindu believe in Atma. Atma mean I. That I is a permanent. I is like a singleness. Right? So selflessness means we don't have a self which is permanent, singleness, partless. Right? So for example, self means the me, right? Me, I. I am exists. I am not permanent. I is not permanent. I is not the singleness. I is not the partless. I is impermanent. It's a lot of parts. It has was a single, opposite single is a many parts. Right? Selfless means there's not such a permanent self, no singleness self, right? No partless self. Then the self is there. Therefore, there's no self who will experience the suffering. If there's no self, who will experience the happiness. Self is there. Selflessness means there's no such as the self. Again, emptiness, right? When you analyze, you cannot find independent person. Person is there as a dependent. The person, the being is there merely designation. Designation. This one, I think, when you study about a little bit more the tenets and the middle Madhyamaka, you're going to be, more clear about emptiness and selflessness. Okay, self. There's a two types. One is there, one is not there. We are talking which is not there. Right? Therefore, you gradually study more precisely about selflessness and emptiness. Right? Any question? Yeah, therefore, for you, selflessness means no self. Your understanding is not, accurate. Selflessness means self is there, I is there, but there's not such a permanent I, permanent self, right? Also, another question she raised, then how the karma is worked? Here we have to differentiate between the consciousness and the person. For example, me and my consciousness. Me and my consciousness. Let's say, I accumulate negative karma, then where the negative karma really stored? When I say I accumulate positive karma, for example, I chant like 10 minutes, I believe I accumulate positive karma. Then where the positive karma is really stored, you can say stored, exist. The positive or negative or neutral karma, all the karma lies on the consciousness. Right? Now, what does mean, the cumulative positive, negative karma mean? My understanding, when you think little bit positivity, you are putting, good habits in your mind. When you act negatively, you are putting, negative habit for your mind. They say cumulate doesn't mean, like many things, put together. You are putting, kind of habits, positive habit, negative habit in your minds. You can see, the people has a more positive habit in their mind. You can see the person mostly being happy. The person has a lot of negative habits. The person can live, have a kind of more suffering life. Yeah. Okay, so we can stop the class here. At the end, so we chant a few sentences from the Lamrim dedications. Page number 23. Stanza number 6. So before we dedicate, first you recollect or remember all the positive karma we have accumulated in the past, particularly this morning or during the Vesak month. All the positive karma we have accumulated for many lifetime. Today, we dedicate the merit for ourselves to be able to realize emptiness, to be able to cultivate bodhicitta, for becoming Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. Second, we dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly all your relatives and friends and family and neighbors. Also, TBC is, sustained only based on the donations or contributions of many family or many person, make a contribution. Also, we include them in our dedication. Last, we dedicate the merit for world peace. Right? Right now, the Ukraine, then the Russian, then the Philistine and the Israel, and also right now the situation no good between China and Taiwan. So we dedicate merit for world peace. May all human and non-human beings who eliminated adversary and create the conducive condition for practicing excellent path never be separated in any way of the lives from the place placed by the Buddha. Whenever someone make an effort to act according with the tenfold Mahayana virtue practice, may they always assist by the majority, and may ocean of the possibilities spread everywhere. So thank you so much for attending the class. And sometimes, as a human being, sometimes you feel, I'm very unfortunate person. As a family, you think, oh, we are very unfortunate family. If you have this kind of feeling, sometimes you must think, no, I'm not. I am one of the most fortunate person because I'm ordinary, simple person, but my dedication, my merit, we share with all sentient beings. My merit, my positive action, I dedicate for world peace. Then you could stop, I am very unfortunate person. We are one of the fortunate person. This moment, how many people on the planets? Right? Who think about all sentient being? Very few people. Right? Therefore, thank you so much, and please study Dharma, continuously, and try to memorize the, certain verses that you can remember in the future. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. You are the most happy person. Okay, stay at the home, drinking coffee and tea. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, have a happy Sunday.
Geshe-la.
Okay.
Thank you.